If you're over the age of 70 and you've started noticing that your legs don't feel as strong as they used to, I want you to stop blaming age for just a few minutes. Maybe climbing the stairs has become more difficult. Maybe getting out of a chair takes more effort than it did a few years ago. Perhaps you've begun walking a little slower without even realizing it, or you've caught yourself reaching for the wall or railing to steady your balance. Most people assume these are simply unavoidable parts of getting older. They tell themselves, this is what happens after 70. Their friends say the same thing. Sometimes even healthcare professionals reassure them that weaker legs are simply part of aging. But what if that explanation is only part of the story? What if your legs are trying to tell you something far more important long before a serious health problem appears? Every single day, millions of older adults quietly lose strength without understanding why. It doesn't happen overnight. It happens gradually. One day, carrying groceries feels heavier. A few months later, walking across a parking lot becomes exhausting. Eventually, standing for more than a few minutes feels uncomfortable, and simple activities that once seemed effortless begin to feel like major challenges. Many people accept these changes because they believe nothing can be done. But the human body often gives small warning signs before bigger problems develop, and weak legs are one of the most common signals that something deeper may be happening inside. Here's something that surprises many people. In countless cases, the muscles themselves are not the real problem. Weak legs can be the result of poor circulation, hidden inflammation, nutritional deficiencies, nerve changes, reduced muscle repair, hormone shifts, or even certain medications taken every day. Sometimes your body isn't losing strength because it's old. Sometimes it's losing strength because it isn't getting what it needs to repair itself properly. Your muscles depend on oxygen, nutrients, healthy nerves, and efficient blood flow. When even one of those systems begins to struggle, your legs often become the first place where you notice the difference. The frightening part is that these changes usually happen silently. There may be no severe pain, no dramatic symptoms, no emergency that sends you rushing to the hospital. Instead, your body whispers before it shouts. It whispers through slower walking. It whispers through tired legs after a short walk. It whispers when you hesitate before climbing stairs or when your balance doesn't feel as steady as it once did. Unfortunately, many people ignore these whispers until they become much louder. By then, recovering lost strength becomes far more difficult than preventing its loss in the first place. Now, I don't tell you this to create fear. I tell you this because understanding these early warning signs could completely change your future. Modern research continues to show that older muscles still have an incredible ability to respond when given the right support. Even after the age of 70, your body is capable of rebuilding strength, improving balance, and increasing mobility. The key is recognizing the problem early instead of assuming it's simply old age. Over the next few minutes, we're going to uncover what your weak legs may actually be trying to tell you. We'll explore several hidden causes that many people never consider, the warning signs that deserve attention, and simple daily habits that may help protect your mobility for years to come. Some of these discoveries surprise even people who believe they know everything about healthy aging. But before we continue, I'd like to ask you something personal. How old are you today? Have you noticed your legs feeling weaker, heavier, or less stable than they did just a few years ago? Leave your age and your experience in the comments below. Your story could encourage someone else who is facing the very same challenge but feels completely alone. Now let's begin with what may be the most overlooked reason older adults lose leg strength after 70. It's not simply aging. And once you understand this first hidden cause, you'll never think about weak legs the same way again. Here's the first hidden cause that surprises almost everyone. In many older adults, weak legs don't actually begin in the muscles. They begin in the blood vessels that feed those muscles every second of the day. Think about it for a moment. Your leg muscles are among the largest and hardest working muscles in your body. Every time you stand up, climb stairs, walk across the room, or even maintain your balance, thousands of muscle fibers require a constant supply of oxygen and nutrients. That delivery system depends entirely on healthy blood circulation. When circulation begins to slow, the muscles don't immediately stop working. Instead, they slowly become tired, weaker, and less efficient until everyday activities suddenly feel much harder than they once did. Many people assume poor circulation only affects the heart, but that's far from the truth. Long before serious heart problems appear, reduced circulation often begins showing itself in your legs. You may notice your feet always feel cold. Your calves may ache after only a short walk. Your legs might feel unusually heavy by the afternoon. Some people even describe it as walking with sandbags attached to their ankles. The important thing to understand is that these symptoms don't always appear dramatically. In fact, they often develop so gradually that most people simply blame aging and continue living with them for years. One major reason this happens is that our blood vessels naturally become less flexible as we grow older. Inside every healthy blood vessel is a thin lining called the endothelium. This remarkable layer produces nitric oxide, a tiny molecule with an enormous responsibility. Nitric oxide tells your arteries to relax and widen, allowing more blood to flow wherever your body needs it most. When you're younger, your body produces plenty of nitric oxide. Blood flows freely, muscles receive oxygen quickly, and recovery after physical activity happens naturally. But after the age of 70, nitric oxide production often begins to decline. As a result, blood vessels become narrower, circulation slows, and your muscles receive less oxygen than they once did. The muscles themselves haven't suddenly become lazy. They're simply running on a smaller fuel supply. Imagine trying to drive a car up a mountain while someone slowly closes the fuel line. The engine still works, but it can't produce the same power. Eventually, the vehicle struggles to climb hills that once seemed effortless. Your leg muscles behave in much the same way. Researchers have repeatedly found that reduced blood flow is closely associated with slower walking speed, poorer balance, decreased endurance, and increased fatigue in older adults. This doesn't mean poor circulation is the only cause of weak legs, but it is one of the earliest and most overlooked contributors. There's another reason circulation matters so much. Healthy blood doesn't only carry oxygen, it also delivers amino acids, vitamins, minerals, hormones, and countless other nutrients your muscles need to repair themselves every single day. When blood flow decreases, the muscles receive fewer of these building blocks, making recovery slower and muscle loss more likely over time. This is why some seniors feel exhausted after walking only a short distance, even though they haven't done anything particularly strenuous. Their muscles simply aren't receiving the support they need to keep performing efficiently. The encouraging news is that circulation is one of the few areas that often responds surprisingly well to healthy daily habits. Regular movement, proper hydration, balanced nutrition, and certain nutrient-rich foods can all help support healthier blood flow. Even small improvements in circulation may lead to noticeable improvements in energy, endurance, and confidence over time. But circulation is only part of the story. There's another hidden cause that silently steals leg strength from millions of adults over 70, and unlike poor circulation, most people have absolutely no idea it's happening inside their body. It develops quietly, causes almost no pain in the beginning, and by the time many people notice it, significant muscle has already disappeared. Let's uncover that next.